The technology where the child is staring at a computer screen and can gather all that information any time of day. One of the wonderful things about a school environment is the socialization skills that children learn. That if you have them talking with one another, questioning, going back and forth, not just sort of learning something on a screen or punching a keyboard, the skills of learning how to live with one another are critically important, and that shouldn't be minimized in terms of a society. And one of the problems, unfortunately, we go back again to the resources and other things that have occurred, is the absence of the kind of the cultural sharing that goes on or should go on in a school environment, where we end up with an awful lot of children being isolated from each other because of economic circumstances and geography. Even again, in a small state like our own, I spoke recently at Central High School in Bridgeport, or Bassick, I forget which one. In one senior class, represented in that room of 100 students, were 23 different ethnic groups of children, all first-generation children who had come to this country, all poor, living in the inner city of Bridgeport. But the remarkable experience these kids were having of Haitians learning about Poland and the Ukraine and El Salvador and Nicaragua and a variety of other, Vietnam and Cambodians, that wonderful, rich fabric that represents our society, in a classroom with kids sharing. And so I would hope that as we look towards technology to solving an awful lot of our problems, we don't minimize or forget the importance of the socialization skills and the importance of having that kind of intercommunication that only can really occur and does occur for the first time for many children in a school environment.
Yeah, I hate to be a cynic, Chris, but that happened in Bridgeport. There's too many towns where the only faces you would see would either be African-American faces or white faces. And I agree, that kind of socialization is critically important to the learning process, and we need to do more. On balance and technology, though, I went back to what Vince was saying in the disparity of what's available. I don't see computers replacing teachers, but I do see that we need an enormous amount of help in bringing technology into some of our schools. Some of the critical issues are we're preparing kids for a workforce where being computer literate is a given. It's just as important as being able to write your name. And if we are not able to do that within the school environment, we are in fact not educating kids for today, never mind tomorrow. So that's something that really does need to be addressed. I have a few computers in the school, and we do groups around the computer, and we socialize around the computer, and they're tremendous in terms of motivating children and enabling children to actually overcome some of their deficits. So I see that as a tremendous thing.
I don't disagree with that, and I just know, and it goes back to what Al was saying earlier, there are other skills, the verbal skills, the ability to write more than just a simple sentence, to be able to articulate one's views. I mean, if we get to the point where all of this is so technical, those other skills are critically important, and I hope we strike a balance here. Exactly. We have a tendency to sort of overload one way or the other.
Yeah.
And,
no, there's a